Okay, welcome back. In this video, we are going to briefly touch upon strategic management and two methods of doing strategic analysis. So, please do try to understand that when we talk about strategic management, we are talking about doing a strategic analysis to determine what kind of strategies we must adopt in the long term. And that's the first part of strategic management. The second part is strategic choice, where we choose the strategy based on our requirements. And the third is strategic implementation. The chosen strategy must be judiciously implemented. So the combination of these three, strategic analysis, strategic choice, and strategic implementation, constitutes strategic management. Uh, when you are doing the strategic analysis, basically what we're talking about is we're talking about scanning the environment first. When you analyze, you need to study in depth the environment in which you are operating. Unless and until you know where you are, you will not be able to know where you must go and how you can get there. There are various techniques that we use for strategic analysis, and the first of these techniques is SWOT analysis. SWOT means, once again, please do keep in mind, this is all part of environmental scanning. This is all part of trying to understand the environment in which you are currently operating. So, SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. What are the strengths of your business? What are the weaknesses of your business? What are the opportunities which can be exploited to increase the productivity, revenue, and expand the business, maybe? And what are the threats to your business? Please do keep in mind that strengths and weaknesses are always present inside the business. When we talk about somebody's strength, his strength is not present outside. The same is true of the business. Strengths will always be inside the business. Likewise, the weaknesses will also be inside the business. All right. The opportunities will be outside, it will be presented from the outside environment, and the threat will also come from the outside environment. So, in the environmental scanning part, please do remember that strengths and weaknesses are inside, and opportunities and threats are outside. Uh, uh, the strengths, what are strengths then? They are internally present advantages, and these advantages will give you an edge over your rivals. If you have a product patent, if you have a good workforce, if you have a good management, if you have some unique features that your competitors cannot bring to bear on the market, then you have real strengths. Weaknesses are also internal, but they are negative factors. They can be counted as disadvantages. You have you have not been able to take advantage of growing demand because you cannot produce the right product. Now that is a weaknesses. Why has that happened? Because you do not have a trained workforce, or you do not have the required capacity, or you do not have the required equipment. Opportunities are are potential. Please do keep in mind they are potential areas of growth, potential areas of advantage, because they are coming from the external environment. But then we have the ability to take care of these, or to take advantage of these. So we will use our strengths to take advantage of these, and we will use them to eliminate our weaknesses. We will take advantage of our strengths to ward off any threats from the environment. So anyway, if there are new technologies, there is increasing customer demand for your product, then this is a good situation and this is an opportunity. Likewise, when you talk about the threats are also external, and they are external disadvantages to the business. Uh, if there's a major competitor in the market, then that will constitute a threat to the business. So in this table, there's a brief summary of the various strengths and weaknesses and threats. As I already said, that specialist marketing expertise, good location, good quality processes, they are your strengths. Your weaknesses are lack of experience, a bad location, a bad reputation. Do keep in mind that's a major weakness. Opportunities are, new development of new markets, development of new technologies that you can use. Okay, if a competitor leaves the market, that's a very good opportunity. And the threat is a new competitor coming into the market. Okay, your competitors developing better access to channels of distribution. All those things then constitute threats to you. The SWOT analysis um, then gives us. Now, please do keep in mind, just by scanning the environment, it's not enough. Just by knowing your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats, it's not enough. Okay, you must pursue those objectives. Okay, you must use your strengths and weaknesses to develop the right strategic objectives. Um, there has to be a good fit between your advantage and your objectives. Okay, um, you can use your strengths, or you can use the opportunities in the environment to eliminate a weakness. For example, there are a lot of educated IT specialists in the market, and you are not an IT savvy company yet, but you want to become, so you can use that to ward off this weaknesses. Please do keep in mind when you're doing the evaluation, that is the main thing. There's a lot of subjectivity. Please do keep one thing in mind. It has been said that the boss, the owner of the business, is always fooling himself. And this is something which I have seen firsthand. People, when they talk about their strengths, they tend to overstate their strengths. When they talk about their threats, they tend to understate them. Don't do that. It's a very subjective exercise. Who you consider your threat, who you consider an opportunity, what you consider an opportunity. And finally, there's no quantitative grid available on which you can put down the relative strengths of these strengths, the relative power of these strengths, the relative impact of these weaknesses. There's no quantitative assessment of these factors. Okay, so please do go through this. The next is the pest analysis, which is used. Do keep in mind the pest analysis is done only for external factors. These include what? These include the political factors, the economic factors, the social factors, the technological factors, to which we sometimes add the legal and the environmental factors, and then we come up with the PESTEL model. Okay, so but right now I'm going to concentrate on these four areas: political factors. Or economic factor. Any new business strategy that you are developing must take account of these factors, because they will definitely impinge on your ability to achieve your objectives and set your strategic aims. Um, Please do keep in mind that these factors that I've just spoken about, the best factors, uh, these factors are highly, highly dynamic factors. What do I mean by dynamic factors? Dynamic factors means that these factors are constantly undergoing change. These factors are constantly, they need to be constantly kept an eye on. So the pest analysis, once started, can never really stop. Okay, it needs updation. The political situation can change on an ongoing basis. The economic situation can change one week to the other. So please do keep this updated. Okay, the best analysis needs updation. So what are the political factors? And previously, of course, we used to club the political and legal factors together. Now the legal is separate. So stability of the government, it's definitely very important. If the government is stable, it means policies are stable. Environmental regulations, employment laws, competition regulation. What is the government's overall approach to business and the environment in which it will operate? Then there are economic factors. If there's economic growth, of course, then it makes sense to invest in the business. If the country, if the country is undergoing a recession, then there's less sense because incomes of the people will fall. Exchange rate stability. Is this country a member of uh, other common currency schemes? What are the interest rates? Now, all these things will have an impact on the social dynamics of the country, education, demographics, men women role in society, labor, social mobility. All these factors will determine whether you will want to invest in the business or not. And finally, then there are technological factors. Technology obviously, improvement in technology leads to improvement in productivity, which leads to which in turn leads to a fall in the cost of production, and it makes goods cheaper and better quality. Government support. How does the government support research and development into better technology? So are these factors present? What about the internet? Now this might come as a surprise, but there are certain areas where internet is still unavailable. So we need to scan the environment to find out whether whether these things are present or not present, and what is the speed of the obsolescence of technology. So all these things will have an impact on the business, and we will have to keep these factors in mind when we are making a long-term strategy for the business. Please do keep in mind that the pest analysis needs to be evaluated also. When you're writing the answer, you will have to evaluate the pest analysis. And one way to evaluate it is to say that there should be a detailed analysis of the environment in which the business has to operate. So, the pest analysis, if the manager stops the pest analysis, if he becomes too wedded to the initial pest analysis, then the pest analysis may not achieve the objectives that it is required to achieve. Okay, so that's about it. I've tried to cover SWOT and PEST in this very short video, and I hope that this is useful. Thank you very much indeed.